Breaking news tonight. Police desperately searching for that beautiful 3-year-old Florida girl named Caylee after her grandparents report her missing. Little Caylee now not seen for 9 long weeks. Last seen with her mother. Bombshell tonight. Just hours ago, mom Casey Anthony walks free from jail after 37 days in isolation behind bars. A California bounty hunter and bail bondsman put up the $50 grand to free Casey Anthony. But now that she's out of confinement, will Mom Casey reveal new evidence to help in the search for 3-year-old Caylee? Casey Anthony now under 24-hour protection and strict bail conditions, including an ankle monitoring device. Just moments before her release, a formal arraignment goes down without Casey Anthony or her attorney. A not guilty plea entered in writing on charges of child neglect and lying to investigators. Meantime, hair and fluid taken from Casey Anthony's car trunk, plus other evidence still under lock and key. Will more criminal charges be next? But tonight, where is 3-year-old Caylee Anthony? Casey, did you kill Caylee?
Casey Anthony has been released on bond. We saw Casey Anthony and her attorney, Jose Baez, walking straight out here from the Orange County Jail through a throng of media.
Hey, back off, you guys! Let her through!
They got in a waiting black SUV. We can't tell you, there was a little scuffle that ensued between Jose Baez and some of the media as he was walking Casey to the car.
Get away! Get away!
At one point, the umbrella that was shielding them flew up into the air. Casey was unshielded. Apparently, a reporter or a camera person tried to get under that umbrella that he was trying to shield himself and Casey with, and that's when he just lost it.
Casey did not say a single word to the media that we could hear.
The attorney did the right thing. He is bound by his ethics to tell her, keep your mouth shut and don't talk to anybody except me.
Good evening. I'm Pat Lalama in for Nancy Grace. I want to thank you for being with us. Breaking news tonight. The desperate search for a beautiful 3-year-old Florida girl, Caylee. And just hours ago, Mom Casey Anthony walks free from jail.
Casey Anthony sprung from jail today.
Casey, what can you tell us, Casey?
Complete circus outside the Orange County Jail.
You killed Caylee?
Excuse me, get out.
Any comments? What can you tell us, Casey?
Casey Anthony was silent as she made her way out of the Orange County Jail this morning, a day after her bond was posted for $500,000. She was taken directly to her parents' house.
It was kind of like deer in the headlights time, like she didn't say anything. We went home, she hugged her dad, told him she loved him. She came around the van in the garage, hugged her mother. The mother says, oh my God, look at you. You know, they shed a tear.
She will have on this proximity bracelet, which will keep track of where she is. She'll have to submit to drug testing. She cannot consume any alcohol or drugs. If she's meeting with her case manager, no suggestive clothing of any type. Also, there is a fee that's involved here. There's $5 a day that she has to pay for supervision fees, which adds up to about $35 a week.
What can you tell us, Casey? Nothing right now. You heard the attorney. What happened? Come on, back up. Let her. Back up. Come on, get her up, please.
Quite the drama today, and let's get it all in here. Mark Williams, news director, WNDB News Talk 1150. Can you believe it?
Well, I'll tell you what, it was just an absolute media circus today, Pat. After 37 days of it being incarcerated in the Orange County Jail, Casey Anthony released at 10:28 this morning. And looking at the video that you've been showing and you will show, it looked like a WWE slapdown. Casey, accompanied by her attorney, Jose Baez, they walked out, and Kathy Bellich from Channel 9, the ABC affiliate here in town, and a CNN affiliate, asked the money question. Did you kill Caylee? And, of course, silence. And one of the things that we found out afterwards is the fact that Casey told her attorney, Jose Baez, but nobody really heard it, it was the fact that I'm innocent, I want to walk out of this jail with my head high. She got into a black SUV, a Dodge Durango, 30-minute drive to East Orange County, and there was a kind of something ensued over there. But before that, a journalist tried to get under their umbrella, and Padilla had to yank him out. Not Padilla, Baez had to yank him out because this guy just invaded their space. Unbelievable. I've never seen people like this work, and I've been a journalist for 30 years.
Yep, well, I'm with you on that. Natisha Lance, Nancy Grace, producer, you were part of this. You know, did she actually utter the words, "I'm innocent," and did she actually say, "I want to hold my head up high"? I'm just a little bit dubious. What do you know?
Well, these aren't words that any of us in the media heard. Apparently, she said these words to Jose Baez, her attorney, while they were still inside the jail on their way out. He said that they hesitated inside, and then they proceeded out. However, I did get some video footage of that. I did not notice any type of hesitation, but I guess you can decide for yourself.
All right, well, let's get right to the matter here with Leonard Padilla. You know him well, and I don't think you're wearing your cowboy hat tonight. Welcome to the show. Did you just have a meeting with the family?
Yes,
yes. All right, well, there's not a lot. I'm sure you're...
And as far as for my hat, it got soaked. I did some interviews outside today in the rain, and it just got soaked, so I'm without my hat.
Well, this is a bigger storm than Faye, I think, Leonard. So what happened in that meeting with the family? What was it, at 7 o'clock tonight? Did you meet with them?
Yeah, just very, very briefly outlining some security situations that Rob wanted to discuss, and then we hurried on over here.
Well, you know what? We're going to actually introduce Rob Dick, and I've seen you around the last few days. You are a licensed private investigator. You're providing security for Casey. I know you work with Leonard. Welcome to the show. Give us an idea of what life is going to be like in that house with Casey Anthony.
Well, the main focus is just keeping the house and the family safe. There's just been too many credible threats against the family, Casey, as well as us, and we just don't want anything to happen to anybody right now.
Are you going to be armed?
Yes.
And that's allowed per the agreement of her confinement at home, so to speak? You're allowed to have a gun?
Well, outside the confinement area.
Okay. I know her father is a former police officer. Does he have a gun? Is he allowed to have it in the house?
Well, per the rules of the confinement, there can't be any firearms directly inside the house.
Okay, all right. You know what I want to ask to John Lusich, former investigator and author of Cyber Lies. You know, if they're talking about threats and the safety of Casey and, you know, the chaos that's wreaked upon the family, wouldn't it have been a lot better to find a quiet, safe house that perhaps they could have secretly whisked her off to instead of putting her in the middle of this big dramatic scene?
Absolutely, I agree with you. You know, but security starts right when that person walked out the door, and that was a pathetic, pathetic display of security. When that point man separated from Baez, I'll tell you, Baez ought to be one aggravated guy tonight, and I'd find a new security team because they just let that whole thing fall apart, came right into Casey, asked her a whole bunch of questions. That should never have happened right there. But I agree with you. They need to bring this person to some place where it's not always going to be flooded by media. But on the other side, the media can actually help by surrounding the house. It's going to be ensure that there are more people watching this house, that Casey's not going to slip out.
Leonard, did your team blow it today on the security?
No, absolutely not. The point man was the two men leading down to the van were Jose, the attorney's people. They said, you guys take over at the door of the van. Until we get there, we've got our own people. They were not our people. We were stationed at the van. That's where we were to take over, not prior to that.
Robert, go ahead. Well, let me ask Robert this. Robert, do you feel that you should have been involved in that scene from the jail to the car?
Yes, I do, and I had no idea they were actually coming out the door. That was not how it was supposed to go, but apparently upon release, they were basically released and just kind of pushed out the door. Nobody knew that, and like I said, they were going to get him to the car, and then we were going to go from there.
Michelle Suskauer, defense attorney, is this the way for it to be done? Did Baez do it the right way today?
No, I don't think so. I think it should have been handled and maybe with Orange County Sheriff's Office, and they should have planned something a little bit better so that they would have gone out the door that maybe all of the media wasn't at. And it is an absolute crazy circus, and he and everybody else put this girl at risk. She had no idea what was coming at her. I mean, she knew that this case was getting media attention, but she had no idea what was coming.
Richard,
and obviously she was a deer in the headlights.